absolutely unbelievable. It's a tie game! Woo! Finally! Go Leafs, go! It's not baseball, but let's see a rally. Let's go Leafs! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Maple Leafs Media. As always, I'm your guy Jake, and tonight the Toronto Maple Leafs are rolling into the desert to face off against the Arizona Coyotes in their second of back-to-back games. Last night, January 11th, we saw the Toronto Maple Leafs take a shootout victory over the Vegas Golden Knights. They were holding a 3-1 lead in a game that they allowed the opponent to get back again. So that's consecutive games where they've given up 2 or more goal leads and seen the games go past regulation. That's not something that the team wants to continue. Definitely something they want to clean up tonight against the Arizona Coyotes, a struggling opponent. And I guess the biggest storyline tonight, Auston Matthews returning home. There's going to be a lot of family and friends in attendance for Auston Matthews. So a big game for him, and he has opportunity to set another record. He has the opportunity to set a record tonight with a goal. If he scores a goal in tonight's game, he would set the new franchise record for consecutive road games with a goal. He's currently at 8, which is tied with 3 others, including Frank Mahovlich. So he's in some pretty solid company there, and he has an opportunity to add just another accomplishment to his resume. And another player making a return to Arizona, Michael Bunting, making his return against his former team. Auston Matthews was joking about it, talking about the video tribute he's going to get, and unfortunately for Bunting, that's not going to be the case. We have Chris Patterson saying, "Big game, Peter Mrazek, let's go." Yes, Peter Mrazek will be making his return to the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup. Mrazek's getting his first start since December 11th against the Ottawa Senators. He's 2-1-0 2-1-0 in a Maple Leafs uniform. And Peter Mrazek, with that 3-year, $3.8 million contract he signed in the offseason, the Maple Leafs need more from him. They need him to be healthy, and they need some valuable minutes from him because the Toronto Maple Leafs have been reliant on Jack Campbell, very reliant on Jack Campbell throughout the first 30-plus games of the season. So they need more from Peter Mrazek. They need him to get into some more games, rest up Jack Campbell, especially with the stretch of games that's coming up. The Toronto Maple Leafs have a slew of games that were postponed, and they're going to likely be playing a lot of makeup games in February at the time where the Olympic break was supposed to take place. So they are going to need Peter Mrazek down the stretch to eat up some valuable minutes in goal. How's everyone feeling tonight? A big game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, looking to clean up some errors. We'll see Phil Kessel, former Toronto Maple Leaf, face off against them as well. Hey Chuck, nice to see you in the comments. Fred says, "Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go!" And go Leafs, go! So we got Leafs Nation in the comment section here today. Nice to see everyone here. But I do have some pretty mind-boggling stats. We all know that the Arizona Coyotes they've been newsworthy this season, but for all the wrong reasons. They have not been able to piece together any real stretches where they gain momentum. At one point in the season, they were locked out of their arena. The Arizona Coyotes have been a mess all season long, and I've got some statistics to show you. So as you can see, the Arizona Coyotes, in 33 games played this season, they've won 7 games. Meanwhile, the Toronto Maple Leafs in their past 11 games have won 7 games. That is that's interesting. The Toronto Maple Leafs winning 7 games in their past 11, while the Arizona Coyotes throughout the entire year have won just 7 games. That's tough for the Arizona Coyotes. Very tough. The Toronto Maple Leafs. This is a game where they can't afford to take their opponent lightly. Any game in the NHL is going to be a difficult game, especially the second of a back-to-back on a Western road trip. That's going to be difficult for the team, but they need to take advantage of their opponent while saying that. The Arizona Coyotes have been lackluster this season. Their home record is 3 wins, 12 losses, and an overtime loss. The Toronto Maple Leafs need to take it to the Arizona Coyotes tonight, and they can't take their foot off the gas. They need to demonstrate that, hey, we can put our foot on your neck. Yotes are dookie, but the Leafs can't sleep. Definitely, definitely, the Toronto Maple Leafs can't sleep on any team right now. Coyotes I have more stats about just how bad they've actually been this season. The 31st in goals scored per game, 32nd in shots on goal per game, 32nd in goals allowed per game. They have the 28th ranked penalty kill in the NHL and the 28th ranked power play in the NHL. The Coyotes struggle to get shots on goal. They struggle to play defense. They struggle to really get anything going at all. And they have a depleted lineup right now. They have a lot of players in COVID protocol. They have players on the injured reserve. It's really been a mess for the Arizona Coyotes throughout this entire season. Uh, After tonight's game, the Toronto Maple Leafs will face off Saturday night against the St. Louis Blues at 7 p.m. So going up against what I believe to be a Stanley Cup contender Saturday, the St. Louis Blues have been a hot team. They're second in the Central Division. They've been fantastic this season. So this is a game where the Toronto Maple Leafs need to build up some momentum and just get out of Arizona with a big win before taking on the St. Louis Blues. Who's going to be a really tough opponent for them. Yeah, they're very brutal stats. Very brutal stats. It's oh yeah, Henry says you make it sound like it will be embarrassing if the Leafs lose tonight. It would be a tough loss if the Maple Leafs don't come out of Arizona with a win. That would be definitely, I believe that would likely be detrimental to this team's confidence going forward. Losing to a team who's won 3 games of their 16 games played at home would really be, I mean, it would really hurt their. You'd have to assume that would shoot their confidence a little bit, wouldn't it? If you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button and hit the notification bell to be notified every time new content is being released on Maple Leafs Media. I've been doing these pregame shows last night and today uh, due to obviously the 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time starts. So I don't think anyone really wants to stay up to watch a post-game show tonight, do they? It's going to be probably finishing around 12:30. Last night's game went till around 12:45, and yeah, it was a late night. The Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's just talk about the importance of Peter Mrazek for this team, because I think that this is something that is flying under the radar. Peter Mrazek was signed by the Maple Leafs to a 3-year, $3.8 million per year contract this past offseason. And Jack Campbell has been a rock for the Toronto Maple Leafs in goal. In my opinion, he is the Vezina Trophy winner if the season were to end today. Jack Campbell would win the award for the best goaltender in the NHL if the season ended today. His statistics have been fantastic. He has stole so many games for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's been steady back there for them. But Peter Mrazek, as I mentioned, he signed a fairly big deal in the offseason. Three years, $3.8 million per season. He's making his first start since December 11th against the Ottawa Senators. Only 3 starts in that time. The Maple Leafs need to see him get healthy. He had an extended absence twice, and we need to see, if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, you need to see what he can do for you. And he just needs to get comfortable with this team in front of him and give Jack Campbell some much needed rest. Chuck Fleet says Toronto always has a harder time against lower teams than them. Peter needs to be Peter needs us Peter needs to be solid tonight. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a big one for Peter Mrazek, definitely. Uh, can't underestimate the importance of this for Peter Mrazek. His season has definitely not gone the way he wants it to, and he just needs to. I don't know if confidence is an issue. I don't think that's an issue, but he just needs to get in there, get comfortable, and hopefully have some success and stay healthy for the rest of the season. Jim says 5-1 Leafs. Everyone in the comments section, leave your score predictions for tonight's game. What do you see the score being in this game? I think that I wouldn't discount that. I could definitely see that happening. But Mile High 6 reminds us, can't take any team lightly. Definitely not in the NHL. No team can be taken lightly. I know the Coyotes have 3 wins at home. They have 7 wins on the season, and the Maple Leafs have 7 wins in the last 11 games. But that doesn't matter. You can't take any team lightly. If the Toronto Maple Leafs roll out of here with a 5-1 win, that's great for them. But if they lose tonight, that could really shoot their confidence and be detrimental to their success going forward. So definitely a really important game tonight. Can't understate it. Curry says 7-2, 6-3 Leafs, 4-2 Leafs. Matthews with the hometown Hattie. 6-2 Toronto. And Mile High 6 says 5-2 Matty Ice hat trick. Matty Ice. Like Matt Ryan. That's what we're going to call Matthews now. Okay, so recurring theme there. We saw two comments saying Auston Matthews hat trick in his hometown. That would be fantastic for him. A lot of family and friends in attendance tonight, so that'd be great for him to really show off what he does in his hometown there. That'd be so special for him, definitely. Big game tonight for Auston Matthews. Michael Bunting also returning, playing against his former team. So look for that first line to be reeling tonight. Watch for them to have a lot of energy out there tonight for the Maple Leafs. Definitely got to expect that. Going back to this, can't take any team lightly. I agree with you, uh, especially when you're playing your second of a back-to-back. Last night, you saw the Toronto Maple Leafs face off against the Vegas Golden Knights, who they have a depleted roster right now. They have some core pieces still, such as Alex Pietrangelo, Robin Leonard, playing in their lineup, but they have had so many injuries derailing their season, such as Max Pacioretty. They acquired Jack Eichel, Alec Martinez. The Vegas Golden Knights have been facing a plethora of injuries throughout the season, and that game last night, in that game last night, the Vegas Golden Knights scratched and clawed their way back into it, down 3-1. Third period, the Toronto Maple Leafs looked like a shell of themselves, and that game, Maple Leafs sneak away with a win in the shootout. William Nylander with the game-winning goal there. But when you look at that, the effect that going past regulation has on the team, it's just more ice time and it's more potential fatigue for this team to carry over into tonight's game. So watch for that to be a factor late in this game as well. The Northern Hoser says, what changes do you believe need to happen at the trade deadline? So I've been asked a lot, what would I like to see happen? What would be the ideal piece to bring in? And for me, I've answered Jacob Chitrin multiple times, but what needs to happen at the trade deadline? That's a different story, because I would not be upset if the Toronto Maple Leafs didn't acquire Jacob Chitrin. I'd honestly be surprised if they did. Uh, I think that really they need to solidify their blue line somehow, whether that's acquiring someone to fill in on their bottom pairing or on their second pairing. I think they need to improve there, and they could use another forward on the left side, another left wing player to fill on the first or second line. I know Michael Bunting's been great, but if you can get someone to play up on that top line beside Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner when he returns, that would be ideal. Even someone to slot in on the second line left wing beside John Tavares and William Nylander. I would like to see the Maple Leafs go out there and get another top six forward left winger, and they need to improve defensively somehow. But this is it's going to be very interesting to see how they make this work with the messy cap situation that they're in. It's going to be hard to make moves, but I'm sure Kyle Dubas will be able to make it work. He's demonstrated time after time that he's able to crunch the numbers and make things happen. Chuck Fleet says Bunting hat trick. Wouldn't that be something? That'd be nice to see. Michael Bunting has had such an impact on this Maple Leafs team too. Such a steal of a deal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A great find from the Arizona Coyotes last season. Playing on a 2-year, $950,000 per season contract. That's a bargain deal for the numbers Michael Bunting is putting up. Playing on the first line beside Auston Matthews. It's been a great deal for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and big props to Kyle Dubas and the Maple Leafs front office for doing their homework on Michael Bunting and getting him signed, getting him locked up in the blue and white. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button and hit that notification bell down below. Helps out the channel in a big way. I appreciate it. So tonight, I just want to remind you of some statistics before I head out of here. The Arizona Coyotes have been horrendous this season. I've mentioned this time after time. And for those of you who maybe are just tuning in, this is an edit I made, and it's a pretty telling statistic. The Toronto Maple Leafs have won the same amount of games as the Arizona Coyotes in their past 11 games. The Arizona Coyotes have played 33 games. They've won 7 games in that time. And the Maple Leafs have won 7 in their past 11 games. So that's one statistic that, if you're an Arizona Coyotes fan, that's going to make you cringe. I have more to make an Arizona Coyotes fan cringe when you consider the fact that in goals scored per game, they're 31st, 32nd in shots on goals per game, 32nd in goals allowed per game, 28th in their penalty kill, and 28th in the league in power play as well. So the Toronto Maple Leafs need to try to take advantage of a struggling opponent, but they can't take them lightly. They can ill afford to stay complacent in this game, or be complacent in this game rather, against a team who's struggling. The Maple Leafs need to take it to them, and I absolutely expect Auston Matthews and Michael Bunting to come out for the Toronto Maple Leafs, lead the charge, and lead the Maple Leafs to a victory in this game. It's just 3-12-1 at home. The Arizona Coyotes' home advantage just is non-existent, to be honest. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, for a big game Saturday against a Stanley Cup contender in St. Louis, they need to add to some momentum, get another victory. But yeah, the game is going to start in approximately 7 to 10 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see. And I will be back here Saturday night for a post game show. I've been doing these pre-game shows due to the fact that the 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start. Uh, no one wants to stay up for 1 a.m. post game shows. So I'll be doing post game shows again starting Saturday. I'll see you then. And until then, have a good night, stay safe, and thanks for watching.